What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in on today's video. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the beginning parts of this video as we are diving into the dually here. And as you can see, we've got the front differential out of the truck, and that is because we're doing something very cool and very awesome. We are installing a TrueTrac front differential. So last year, what you guys probably noticed in a lot of those sled pulling videos was when we got down to the end of the track, if you were on the passenger side of the truck, you could see that that tire was just kind of, it wasn't really moving at all. The driver's side, if you got a good camera angle on the driver's side, you saw that sucker was just ripping. But that means that we are not getting as much traction as we really want and need when we're truck pulling. So one of the big upgrades that we wanted to do, as you know, we've got a built transmission in the truck now. And then the other thing, now that we're going to get more power to the ground, we need to make sure that when it hits the ground, we're getting the traction that we need, and that's why we're doing the front TrueTrac. Now, when we go down the track, both tires are going to be digging and pulling and trying to get us more feet ahead of the competition. So that is why we're doing the TrueTrac. I went with a TrueTrac, I should mention, instead of a locker, because I heard that with a locker, you get a lot more torque steer, as 50% and 50% of that power is going to each wheel. We wanted to, if we're going to get a little bit of slippage on one side or the other, we want that to vary. We want to send some power to the passenger side. We want to send some power to the driver's side. That way we're optimizing the most amount of traction as possible. So we've got the front differential out. We are going to go over some cool differences between these two differentials. And then we're going to start prepping this thing to get the bearings pressed back on and put back into the truck. Stay tuned. All right, so we have both differentials side by side here. This is our Detroit TrueTrac on the right-hand side, and then this is our factory open differential. And so what you can see is we've got 4 different spider gears in here. And so when they say open differential, basically that means depending on where the load is applying, it's going to turn a certain way, and that is going to only spin the one side. So even though you have your 4-wheel drive locked in, you've got the lockouts locked in, it doesn't matter. It's only ever going to turn one wheel. Now, that is why we're going to the TrueTrac. So on the TrueTrac side of things, there is a mechanical mechanism inside of this. As you can see inside of here, there is a few helical cut gears. And so basically what this is going to do is, depending on the load that is being applied on this differential from our wheels, it is going to move the mechanical mechanism inside of this and apply partial load to the driver's wheel and some load to the passenger wheel. And as that load changes up and down based on traction, it is going to constantly be moving and applying different percentages to each wheel. So the biggest thing though, guys, we're going to be spinning on both tires, and we're going to be sending more power to the side that has more traction, and we're going to be sending less power to the side that has less traction. So it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see both tires just turning and burning down the track. So we've got the parts over in the parts washer. They are cleaning up. We are going to prep this new differential for our ring gear, because a lot of that stuff we have to swap over. Yeah, we're going to be able to reinstall. We'll check our backlash, which you saw in the beginning of this video. We were at right about 10 thousandths backlash, so we're hopefully going to be able to just stick this thing back in with our shims behind our bearings and be right there at 10 thou. That would be ideal. So let's get to it. Okay guys, so in the last video you saw us, we installed the differential, we measured it, and we are at about 20 thousandths of backlash, which is about double what we were. So we were at about 10 thousandths. The spec is 5 to 8 with some wear on our ring gear and pinion gear. We're going to have a little bit more than that, which is fine. But 20 thousandths is double what we want. So we want to be as close back to that 10 thousandths as possible. So what that means is we got to pull all the bearings back off the differential. We got to move some shims around to try and make up that difference. So Kurt's got the mic set up here, and he's getting some measurements so that we can make a determination on which shim we're going to move over. So basically we need that ring gear to get closer to the pinion gear to lower our backlash. So we're going to be removing from the driver's side and adding to the passenger side, but we have to keep the total amount the same. This is where things can get a little bit complicated when you're doing this process, but we're going to do it to it. All right, guys, so we've actually had this back out twice now. We started with 6 thousandths. And we needed to go a little bit more, so we went to a total of 10 thousandths, and now we're sitting right at 11. We were at 10 before, so we're within that 2 thou worth of play. So good to go. So let's talk real quick about our second upgrade that we are adding. So along with the TrueTrac, we're going to be gaining more traction, and I saw an opportunity to gain some strength and reliability as well. So what we have here is the factory axle shaft that you would find in a 2005 up to 2014, 2015 Fords. And over here is going to be the replacement. So if you were to get a brand new axle shaft, this is what you're going to get. So what you're going to see here is a larger 1410 U-joint. You can see the size difference between our two yokes here as well. Look at all the extra meat that's in through here as well. Okay, guys, so that is going to wrap up the video. Thank you guys for tuning in. As you can see, we've got the dually loaded up on the trailer. We are headed to a truck pull this weekend. We're going to test out that TrueTrac that we just installed. Hopefully the truck performs well. Stay tuned. That'll be the next video. We're going to see if we can pull off some good distances in the dually. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you guys in the next one.